sou arquiteta.
I'm an architect by profession. I worked with architecture until 2008, and during my travels to the Middle East that same year, since I have always liked historical Islamic architecture, I visited a few countries like Jordan, Syria, and Dubai. And in 2010, on a trip to southern India, I came in contact with the first raw materials in the sector, which were sandalwood, wood, and jasmine. But I never imagined that I work with herb fragrances. I brought back 10 perfumes in my luggage and started using these perfumes to the point that I was really swept away by these aromas, and I could not go a day without them. And I asked myself what I was going to do when these perfumes were gone. So I decided to contact the company that manufactured the perfumes, and they made an invitation for me to visit Dubai after the end of Ramadan in September, because the representative of this company would be in Dubai. So I went there and spoke with the commercial manager of this company and began outlining a representation agreement in my name. Why my name? Because I did not have my own company. After that, I came back with this single sheet of paper, literally one sheet, and started going after the paperwork to open what is now a trading company called De Biase. I made my first importation in 2012 and faced a lot of problems with legislation, with obtaining documentation and licensing, and this is why it took from 2010 to 2012 before I could do my first importation. The problem was that I thought it would be very easy to sell. I thought that everyone would understand this great passion I had for fragrances, especially herb fragrances. But then, to my surprise, when the perfumes arrived, and I did not buy 100, 200 perfumes, I bought a container with 13,000 perfumes, without having a store, without anything, and I thought that people would begin to understand. That's when I had the idea to begin gathering groups of women, groups of men, to explain this whole culture of the art of fragrances, which is a tradition from the Middle East that is thousands of years old, and I began teaching them about each ingredient that composes this perfume, and they started falling in love with the culture, falling in love with Arab history, and started buying my Oriental perfumes. Until one day, a famous hairstylist who has a renowned salon here in São Paulo met me at a shopping mall and asked what perfume I was wearing, which was a wood. And he loved it and invited me to launch these perfumes inside his salon that's called MG Hair. And I began launching the perfumes at the salon. But I continued with the hard work of literally explaining how each component interacts with the lives of individuals and this whole history of Arab fragrances. Finally, in 2015, thanks to all of the no's I got from investors, I sought who could help me believe in this dream and believe that it could come true. I opened my first store in September of 2015. Today, Zahra is an Oriental fragrance store, the first Oriental perfume store in Latin America. I'm the representative of this brand in Brazil and Latin America, and I also work with other perfume brands from the Middle East. And this year of 2016, I created 4 fragrances, because that's when I was finally able to study the art of fragrances. I did courses in the south of France, I went to Marrakesh to do a course in Oriental fragrances, and I continued researching and studying the raw materials that compose Oriental fragrances. And today, Zahra has become a name, a brand. One that, to me, is one of great success, because in a country like Brazil, where last year we saw stores and companies closing and the country was going through a significant crisis, I founded Zahra. I opened a store and believed that this dream could become a reality, and it did. Today, my goal is to bring more products from the Middle East because, despite not being Arab, but rather a descendant of Italians who everyone confuses as being Arab, my soul is Arab, and my passion, my love for this culture is what made me realize this dream. And here I am today at this forum.
E hoje eu estou aqui, nesse fórum.